Hello there, from my kitchen. It's pumpkin season, so today we're making a pumpkin roll. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Virgil, and in this corner of the internet, I make design and lifestyle related videos. If any of those topics interest you, consider subscribing and hit the bell for notifications. Now that it's pumpkin season, my favorite pumpkin treat is the pumpkin roll. Now I kind of buy this a little too much in October that it kind of tends to add up. So I decided, why don't I just learn how to make a pumpkin roll so I can not only save money, but I can also have it the whole year round. Now a little bit of background in terms of my baking skills. I have baked in the past from scratch quite a bit. I wouldn't say a lot though, and this is actually my first time baking a pumpkin roll from scratch, so hopefully this turns out okay. Alright, so now we have moved on to the kitchen station. Now I found a recipe online that I have pulled up just to help me out, and the first thing that it calls for is 3/4 cup of flour. The next thing you'll need is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now it kind of looks like I put more, but I promise, I just did a pinch. And the next thing we're going to need is a teaspoon of baking soda. Now I don't have a teaspoon of baking soda with me. I have baking powder instead. So I'm going to use the equivalent of it, which basically is 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Okay, so I have these dry ingredients done. And then the next is going to be the wet ingredients for the pumpkin. Okay, so I have this. You'll need 2/3 cup of the pumpkin puree. I can smell the pumpkin already. It smells pretty good. So I open it with the back of a spoon. That way I don't hurt myself, and then I pretty much just measure it out on a measuring cup just so it's accurate. After that, you'll want 3 eggs. Oh no! I got an eggshell that time. I gotta get that out. Well, at least I got that one, but now I need to fish for that eggshell because that obviously is not okay. I swear that doesn't happen as often, but you know, mistakes sometimes happen, so that's fine. We need a teaspoon of vanilla. Now a little quick tip here that I learned while baking, if you separate your wet ingredients and then your dry ingredients before mixing them together, it actually makes the consistency and texture of your overall finished cake or baking product consistent. Okay, so this looks good. So now we are going to go back to the dry ingredients. I actually forgot the cup of sugar, so I'm going to add that now. It calls for 1 cup of sugar. Now I'm just scooping a little bit extra just because I didn't actually get the full cup the first time. So now I just mix in the wet and dry ingredients, where I do the first half before I add the second half, just because it makes it a little bit easier for me to mix everything together. Then you'll want it to be a smooth consistency before you stop mixing it all together. But this is good. You don't want to overwork it because then it's not going to entirely rise as well. So now we're just going to preheat it, 350. So now while the oven is preheating, we'll need to get this cake batch ready onto a cooking sheet. And you'll want to line it with wax paper. This is a pretty important step that'll be helpful for later on. Alright, so after lining that down, you'll want to pour the cake batch on top. Make sure that you don't waste anything. Here I am scraping everything out of the bowl. Then you'll want to smooth it out and make it one even layer all across. Make sure everything is even. Now it's time to put it in the oven.
and you will bake it for 15 minutes. Alright, so now that that's baking, we're going to move on to the filling of the pumpkin roll. So the filling is going to consist of butter. It's also going to consist of cream cheese. It's going to need your vanilla extract. Now the cream cheese needs to be softened. Mine wasn't when I had it, so I went ahead and put it in the microwave for about a minute. After that, you'll want to add 2 tablespoons of softened butter. Then we kind of just work at it. Now I did forget to mention, last minute before I put the cake batch into the oven, you do need to add a dash of pumpkin spice. Alright, now it's ready to take it out of the oven. Once you take it out of the oven, you'll have to let it cool for 10 minutes on the baking sheet.
This is what it looks like. It's a little fluffier than I imagined it, but okay.
Once it's done cooling on the baking pan, you're going to have to let it set yet again for another 10 minutes out on its own. Now what I found, even after the 20 minutes of waiting to let it cool, it still wasn't room temperature, which is where you need it to be, so when you spread the cream cheese on top, it'll be easy and it won't end up ripping the top of the cake. I ended up having to put it into the fridge for another 10 minutes. So I suggest maybe you should just let it cool 10 minutes on the baking sheet and then move it to the fridge for 20 minutes or less. After that, you'll want to roll it by pushing the top and slowly taking out the wax paper as you are rolling it.
Well, I mean, it's rolled. That's the important part. Did I have it correctly? It's a little cracked on the side.
Lastly, you'll want to put powdered sugar on top. Now, I didn't really have a sifter to make the powdered sugar look really nice on top. I just had a spoon, so I just did that and tapped it lightly so the powdered sugar would fall off. And then I just kept doing it to try and cover up the mistakes that I had on the side.
So this is how it looks. Basically, the confectioner sugar on top. You know, to be honest, this isn't that bad. It actually kind of looks good, realistic also. Okay, so I'm gonna cut a slice now from this. This side is a bit too big. I'm gonna cut from this side. Plate it. Whoop. All right. Here's my little roll. Look at this. Wow. Oh, look at how it looks from the side. All angles now. Okay, So I've cut my piece, and of course it's time to taste it because all that hard work was not for nothing. This is the best part. I'm really excited. I know that the pumpkin roll didn't exactly turn out to look the way that it was supposed to look in the picture, but the taste matters more than what it looks. So I'm gonna dig in right now and, okay, I'm just gonna go in. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's sweet, but like not too sweet. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm doing the happy dance. Yep. Okay. I'm already enjoying this. This turned out pretty great in terms of taste wise. Looks wise, you could probably do this better than me. But you know what? I think I'm pretty good. If you like this video and you want to see me bake more, just let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and just comment down below if there's any type of baked goods you want me to try out. I'm gonna go now because, yeah, I'm ready to finish this. Bye, you guys.